Hey everybody, welcome back to the Bitch and Brainstorm podcast. I'm here with a returning guest. So excited. Julie
Mm.
DeLucca-Collins is going to be a returning panelist for our next summit, Elevate Your Customer Experience, happening
Oh,
on July 12th from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. Pacific time. Uh, I'm so excited about this. Julie, you are my first podcast guest of
well,
this of this new round of
amazing.
summiting. And I was so excited to have you back because you and I jive so
Yeah.
well on all the things.
All the things.
So for those that don't know you, will you give them a little background about who you are and what you do?
Sure. And thank you for having me again. I loved your summit and I've done several, but by far, yours is still number one on my list. I had so much fun.
Thank
You are
you.
so organized, Elaine, and we must talk about this. Talk about customer experience. But I'm
Yeah.
Julie DeLucca-Collins, and I am the founder and CEO of Go Confidently Services. I am a author, speaker, coach. I also have a podcast, Casa de Confidence, but most importantly, I work with individuals to help them become the CEO of their life and business. I am a Tiny Habit certified coach. So, as a Tiny Habit certified coach, I use that framework to help individuals create the consistent action in their life that gives them the traction to be successful, whether it be in building their career or if they're building a business, show up, do the consistent work, and make the action that they want to create income and get clients, and most of all, make an impact on the world, because I'm very committed to making sure that others are making the impact that they set out to do. And I think that sometimes when we're not running our business like a business, we don't do what other people need us to. And we all have gifts, right?
Yeah.
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 So that's me in a nutshell.
Yay. So one of the things that I know, when you're talking about consistent habits, and I know you love a good SOP. Who does
Ugh,
not love God?
holy
SOPs are
cow.
like heaven for me. But
Yeah.
how can you use those consistent habits and an SOP for your business to
Yeah.
help you create an outstanding customer experience?
You know, SOPs, and for the people who maybe are tuning in, and actually, Elaine, someone just sent me a Facebook message asking me what is an SOP, because apparently I answered someone in Facebook and I said SOPs,
Oh
and I
no,
thought, oh, girl.
they don't know.
Yeah. So SOPs are standard operating procedures.
Mhm.
And if you're running your business, this is something that has to be ingrained into what you do every day. And
Yes.
habits is the thing that uh, the behavior, right, that we create that makes us do the thing. Like and by the way, your brain craves habits. It automates 90% of what you do in a day. So it's important for you to outline what are the important things that you need to do, your standard operating procedures for running your business, for maybe onboarding a client, for servicing clients, or creating an email list, or launching a podcast, right? All of these things have different steps that you're going to repeat. And in order to service clients successfully and provide them with white glove service, I want you to list out all the different things that you do. And then every time you're going to service a client or send an email or do a podcast, you're going to follow the same standard operating procedures. And by the way, once you have it all laid out, it makes you more successful, because you are not having to like reinvent the wheel, and you're not having
Yeah.
to, you're going to forget something, or you're going to not do something that worked well. And it's going to help you also see like what doesn't work well. Hey, this step is redundant, or, and you become efficient and your business runs much better.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's literally it's a customer journey map. Like it's
Hmm.
a roadmap for how to run your business. And
Yeah.
when the customer experience is the foundation of that, that everything leads back to the customer experience, because that's why you have a business.
Absolutely.
Without customers, you don't have a business.
A
So
hundred
the
percent.
customer experience has to be like a pivotal foundation, as important to me as your values, as important as your branding, as important, like the customer experience has to be that foundation. Otherwise, you don't have a business if you don't
Yeah.
have customers.
And by the way, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to pull out my pom-pom to cheer that on, because by God, your values are important, and that gives you some clarity on who you are, what you offer, what's important. But
Mhm.
if you don't have customers and you don't have that customer journey, then you're not going to be able to create consistent income in your business.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And even if you're a service-based business, even if you're a
Hmm.
product-based business, you
Hmm.
must have an SOP. You must have the
Yeah.
step-by-step process of how to run your business. If you were to die tomorrow, God forbid,
Yes. God forbid.
could someone step in and run your business on your behalf, or are you screwed?
Yeah, I
Right?
have to tell you that has saved me.
Yeah.
For those of you who follow me and maybe have been getting my emails and you've been in social media with me, you know that my mom had a pelvis break. She broke her pelvis at the beginning of March, and I've had to travel and step out and do other things to support her. And guess what? My business runs. Why? Because
Yeah.
I don't have to be always present, because I've automated some stuff,
Yeah.
and I have an assistant that has been able to step in. I have a husband that does also servicing our clients. There's
Mhm.
no guessing as to, oh, when does that email go out and how do you do
Yeah.
that? No, it's
Yeah.
all written out. And by the way, it is, I'm not going to lie. If this is your first time doing it, and this is why you need to partner with someone who is well versed, like Elaine, you do this. You
This is what I
organize
do,
people,
girl. This is what I
and
do.
you know that sometimes when you're the first time doing it, you're like, oh, I don't know, how do I do this? And then the more that you do it, the
Yeah.
more that you can create this operating procedure that makes your life easier and gives you freedom, because you don't have to wait till you're going
Yeah.
vacation or you have a family emergency.
Mhm. Mhm.
It gives you freedom in the day in and day out, and you're running your business.
And the confidence.
Oh, yes.
The more
Let's
you
talk
do it, the more you
confidence.
practice, the more confidence you
Absolutely.
get with it. Like, but the first time we all do something, we all start at zero. Like
Oh,
we
I know.
all start at a place where you're like, I don't know how to do that, but you try
Hmm.
it and go, okay, now I just did it. Now I know how to do it for the next time.
Yeah. And I
So,
have some really fun secrets that I'm going to share in the summit. I'm not going to share them here,
okay,
because
I'm
people
excited for the
have to
secret.
sign up.
Yes.
I have some really great secrets that, by the way, a mentor of mine taught
Mhm.
them to me. And I was like, oh my goodness, this is brilliant.
Mm,
And now I teach it to my clients, because it just makes life a lot easier.
love it. I
Yeah.
cannot wait for the secrets.
Oh my
Cannot
gosh.
wait for the
Yes.
secrets. You know, I just spent 2 weeks in Paris.
Mm.
And like you, I did not have to babysit my business, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I found someone that I know, like, and trusted. She was one of our panelists on the last summit who
Hmm.
has an agency like I do. And I said,
Awesome.
Pam, would you be able to be a touch point for any of my clients who run into a 911 emergency,
Yeah.
something is not working or whatever, and they might need a little guidance? She's like, yeah, sure. 2 people reached out like that whole
Yeah.
time. And I was so worried about it. But
Mm.
I did not have to babysit my business because
Yeah.
I set up a process in place. I got all of this stuff
Yeah.
done I needed to get done. And I was able to go and enjoy a
Mm.
vacation, not being tied to my phone except to pull it out to take pictures.
That's right.
Like it
That's
literally
the best
was
part.
so wonderful. And I can't tell you how freeing that was
Yeah.
to be able to step
Absolutely.
away for 2 weeks and fully enjoy myself without stressing out that so and so, whatever. Like it just, oh, it was so
It's
wonderful.
freedom. Yeah, and by the way, that's why most people become entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
They're looking for time freedom,
But then
financial freedom.
they
And then they
suck
work
themselves in.
24/7 and they're overwhelmed and they're like, "Oh
Yeah.
my God, I can't believe this."
Mm-mm. I would
No.
not have been able to do that 3 years ago. There's no way in hell I'd have been able to take a 2 week vacation. I would have been so paranoid and
Mhm.
so uneasy and
Yeah.
insecure and all of the things because I didn't have processes. I didn't have
Yeah.
automations. I didn't have
Mhm.
systems. I was duct taped together.
Yeah. I was very lucky in my corporate career. When I was climbing the corporate ladder, I reported the one company I worked for. I reported to the two founders.
Mm,
She was the chief operating officer, and he was the CEO, but also in charge of development for the business. So I learned both sides. And as you're developing a business, it is very important that operations comes and catches you and
yeah,
then implements what you said to your customer. Hey, by the way, come on in. We're going to service you.
yeah.
Then you need to have the process and the steps and that
Hmm.
journey. The
Hmm.
the one thing is that a lot of times in organizations and even small businesses, you get a client and you promise you're going to do this transformation, you're going to have this, and then in the implementation, it falls apart.
Hmm.
And then the attrition of a client, this is where you lose them because there's an expectation. But if you understand this is the clear promise and this is the clear delivery, this is what
Hmm.
happens and what SOPs allow you to have.
Yes. I like to call that what happens next. Like
So good.
when this, then what?
Then
Okay.
what? Yeah.
When this, then what? Like it's
Hmm.
literally that simple. It's
Yeah.
that simple. And if you're stuck on where to get started with creating an SOP, I like to use the very simple model. Who, what, when, where, why, and
Oh,
how.
that
That's it.
that formula applies to everything.
Everything.
And it's
Like, you
so
don't have
good.
to overcomplicate it.
Yeah.
Just answer those simple questions.
Yeah.
Who, what, when, where, why, how. Like, boom, done. So simple. Oh, so good. I,
It's amazing. I
it
love it.
is.
You and I, this is why we jive,
I know.
because
We drive
it's
so
like,
good
oh, you're
together.
speaking my language. It's so good.
I know, I know, I know. Well, I cannot wait for the next summit. We're doing things a tad bit different this time. We're only doing
Okay, I'm
a
in.
half-day summit instead of a 2-day summit. The 2-day summit was so good. However, I was so exhausted by day 2. I felt like I was in the clouds. So
Yeah.
I'm really glad we're
It's
just gonna
it's so
do,
good that you're doing a one day. Plus, by the way,
yeah,
it's summertime.
yeah,
People are traveling.
yeah,
And then this way, it's like, okay, I can do
yep,
it. I can
yep.
attend. And then people get the value, the information,
Mhm.
and they still get the connection with
Yeah,
the presenters and the other attendees.
yes.
And then they can walk away with things that can go and implement right away.
Yes. And the whole purpose, like the structure that we're doing this time is we're going to have 4 panels,
Mm.
and then each of the panelists will host a breakout room and facilitate that
Ooh.
so people can really come and learn more in depth from
Mhm. I
you.
love that.
And then we're going to have a little share fest afterwards where people can share about what they learned in that panel.
Ooh,
So
so
everybody
good.
kind of gets a little taste of, ooh, I need to go watch the replay of that one, you know?
Yeah,
So
that's really good. I love
yeah,
it. Oh
yeah,
my goodness.
I know.
You are Elaine the Brain. You're thinking ahead, girl.
Thank
You
you. I
are. Oh
love
my
it.
gosh, so
I love it.
good.
Well, thank you so much for coming to chat
You're
with me
welcome.
again. As always, I love you, girl, and
Oh, I
cannot wait.
know.
Cannot wait.
Oh,
So,
I cannot wait to, again, hang out with you for the day. I cannot wait to see what exciting things we learn together and how we can continue to support individuals through this process.
yes,
So fun.
yes. All right, girl. Have a super great day. Bye,
All
everybody.
right. Bye, everybody.